Ever wondered how to max efforts from using alternative accounts? Today, we're diving deep into the world of alts and how they can boost your in-game world. This episode of Money Talks, though I've covered it before, I feel like I needed to bring it up again. Today, I'm going to focus on the pros and cons of membership alts versus free-to-play alts, focusing on their cost effectiveness and potential for making money. So that being said, let's just hop right into it. My first alt I'm going to talk about is the, you got two alts. You got pay-to-play alts, you got free-to-play alts. So the first one we got here is pay-to-play alt, which is a membership account that has access to the entire game. And they have pros and cons. And the first pro I want to talk about is access to better money-making methods. Obviously, membership alts can access members-only content, which often includes high-profit activities like killing dragons, bossing, or engaging more profitable scaling methods. So, for instance, we have, completing the Fortis Coliseum wave, the highest hourly profit we have available to us with a membership alt is going to be 17 million, 14 million, 13 million, 12 million, 9 million, 8 million, et cetera, et cetera. We have so many more money makers to choose from than on the free-to-play. Okay, so this is just this is the obvious best reason to make a pay-to-play alt. The second thing I would say for the main pro for a paid-to-play alt is access to additional grand exchange slots. Each membership alt provides 8 more grand exchange slots, allowing for more flipping and trading opportunities. I should have added here, I forgot to as well, that you have access to a plethora of extra items to invest into, and because there's a lot more money in the membership items, there's a lot more money to be made, you could say. Then the third one I'd like to say is passive income. Some member activities can generate passive income with minimal effort once set up, so let's just hop over to that. So these would be what you call recurring methods. And I sorted them by effective profit. Effective profit meaning that if you were able to do this for an hour at a time, since this can only be done for 30 seconds, you would be making this amount of money, allowing you to. It's a technique to frame the moneymaker into a terms that you can understand better. So like this one here, buying battle staffs from Zaf. Once you set this up and get this going, when you complete all the requirements for it, it is 17 million per hour. So if we compared that to the best moneymaker in the game, it is right on par with the best moneymaker in the game. So in addition to your best moneymaker in the game, whatever that top boss was or whatever, this would be a lot less skill. So you could set this up and get this daily and then still earn similar profits over a long period of time if you added this into your rotation, your schedule. Opening herb boxes, pretty close, not close to the top, but still, this isn't nothing to laugh at. You do that 3 times, or not 3 times, sorry, because that's the actual profit. I'm sorry, misspoke there. But, over a long period of time, this is going to be worth its time. Over a long period of time, this is going to pay for things, more gear and stuff like that, make you money, and it is worth its time with very little effort. So it's nice to know that. Like, membership alts are very, 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 very strong. So, but there are cons as well as pros to it. So the bond cost is the number one con to membership alts. Before that, I want to go over the top thing I was talking about real quick, or that I wrote down there. If you could afford memberships with US dollars, like you make like 50 to 100K a year or whatever, you just have money to splurge, this negates like 99% of the cons of a pay-to-play alt, and you should just, keep that in mind. So the bond costs. If paid with in-game GP, bond costs around 15 million GP for 14 days of membership, equating to about 1 million GP per day. So why that's important is that to utilize a paid, a membership alt, you need to first make 1 million GP for the day before your money starts making you money, if that makes sense. Or you need to make the initial investment into the account before it's making money. So if it's not an alternate account for fun and its intention is to make money, then it is very important that you take this into consideration, because you need to understand this is about making money. And if you're just going to get if you don't think about your investment, your time investment, you could be at risk to losing money, or just not making as much money as you could be, just doing other things. Sorry. So upfront GP investment, risk of not making back the bond cost if the alt isn't utilized efficiently. I just said that, sorry. Time investment is another thing I think people don't maybe take into the equation. I'm not saying that necessarily. I'm not speaking for other people, but I want to bring this up specifically too, because the time investment is a super important caveat to an alternate account, because let's go back to the money makers here. A lot of the content that would make a membership alt takes a really long time for it to come online. So for instance, let's just go over Killing Next Duo. As you can see here, we need like 95. It's recommending that we get 95 plus attack, strength, 90 plus defense, 90 plus range, 90 plus mage, and magic defense and summoning throws. 74 plus prayer for rigor, and rigor costs a lot of money and whatever. I mean, that's not important, but all of these stats take time to come online and they cost money. These don't take that much money. You could do that. I've managed to get max melee on alts in Nightmare Zone in like 3.3 weeks, 3.33 weeks, or you could just say 4 weeks. So that doesn't take a lot of time, but that is a month. So that's already 30 mil for an investment right here. And then also you have the 90 plus investment for magic, where you're gonna have to spend a lot of money to get that done quickly, or you're gonna have to spend a lot of time to get that up using methods that don't cost as much money or make money. So yeah, time investment is a very real thing, and it needs to be taken into consideration. And I would list it as a con, like it is a constraint. So I already did kind of the math on how much GP per day / hour before you start to profit. But if you just take 15 million for a bond, and you take that 15 million, you take that times 14, that's how much roughly it costs per day. But then it costs this much per hour for 24 hours. So if we take that times, let's go back to 24, and then we're going to divide that by 8. Let's say you played 8 hours a day on the alt. You would need to make over 134,000 an hour before that account would be profitable, just to put it in perspective. So if you were doing something like, there's a lot of things you could be doing that do make 134,000 or more an hour, but it would require you to play for 8 hours a day to do that. Because if you could only play for let's say 3 hours a day on the account, now you have a lot bigger problems, so you could do like herb boxes that would get that knocked down 200k for the 3 hours, or off this, take away 200k off that. Now we're down here, but if you were able to buy battle staffs every day too, you can knock that down again, and now you get 730,000. And then if you were to divide that out by 3 hours, now it's only 243,000, which isn't, there's things you could do. You have GE trades going that pays for it and stuff like that. Little passive money makers that would be able to mitigate this. But these are all just things to think about before you decide what type of alt you want to have. I just wanted to clarify all that. So now, like, also the other cost of it that I was talking about a little bit prior was time. But then also, we have gear time. So you got like this stuff, Amulet of Blood Fury, Light Bearer, Primordial Boots, Fire Cape, which is just kind of an activity. But then you have Ferocious Gloves, Barrow's Gloves, which would be a huge time investment for Recipe for Disaster. Dragon Defender is time investment. I don't remember how to get that, but then So let's just look at the gear a little bit. So Rigor costs 13 mil in and of itself, so that's another bond right off the back if you want to get and you don't necessarily need to get everything that's in the recommendation, but they are recommending these things for a reason. Light Bearer, this costs like 1.7 mil, this costs 24 mil for Primordial Boots, and you don't necessarily need it, but this is fused with a Blood Shard, and Blood Shards are 12 mil for that lifesteal. Ferocious Gloves come from Hydra Leather, and that's almost 10 mil now. Wow. Carol's Leather Top, 1.4 mil. The Fang, 13 mil, etc., etc., etc. So, I mean, like, there's a lot of investment in getting these high-level moneymakers. And yes. So I think that's everything. Sorry, I'm just kind of spacey a little bit. So there's just keep all that in mind. So these ones, it can be kind of misleading for these not misleading. That's the wrong way to talk about it, but it's just very. You need to really think about it. I just really want to like nail that in your head a little bit. So, but like I said, over a long period of time, if you're playing RuneScape, you love RuneScape and stuff like that, these alts, don't be deterred from making these types of alts. Like I said, if you can make it using USD, negates the con. You know what I mean? Like if you're valuing RuneScape to the point where you're paying for multiple accounts, because I paid for 4. I love RuneScape, so it's just another thing. They're just extensions of you, and it's not that this isn't an alt conversation. It's different for you. So now you're mainly all pros and almost no cons if you're going to pay for it with USD, but not everybody has access to that. So those are the types of people I'm trying to talk to, because this is Money Talks, and I'm talking to you about money and how you should be spending it, or at least thinking about putting perspectives in your head, kind of teaching you from what I can. And then that brings us to our next alt, which is the free-to-play alt. Kind of straightforward, pretty easy to talk about. Let's just jump right in. You have pros and cons, like everything. And the main pro, I would say, is no maintenance cost. They're free-to-play accounts. Free-to-play accounts are free-to-play. Most free-to-play money-making methods are set up and come online relatively quickly. So if we go back to the money makers I have set up right here. I keep clicking the wrong tab, sorry. This is new. I'm going to be doing a video on this. I'm going to test this, because this is a pretty big claim. 838,000 an hour. That's a pretty big claim, because if this is true, you're either going to have a lot of competition, or free-to-play just got a lot better. So yeah. Like, for instance, if this is a real moneymaker, once you get 2.5 million, or any variable of this, 100K, whatever it's recommending, this moneymaker comes online. High alking. This mining runite ore, this is one of those that would take a long time to come online, because you need to get 85 mining. And then, but the next one down, the next best one, high alchemy, for instance, just requires 55 magic to come online, making dyes, though it's kind of variable if you actually get the sales. Doesn't require anything, just a little bit of money up front for you to make the dyes and then sell them. Stringing amulets, as you can see, no crafting. This one is kind of silly. 60 mining isn't that bad to get. A lot of players can get that in a while if you like mining. Grinding chocolate bars, no requirements, just a cash stack and a knife. Collecting steel plate bodies, no cash stack, or just high alchemy. Collecting ruby rings, making anchovy pizzas, buying feather packs, making pie shells. All these require almost no skills. Okay, so it's just a little bit of money, a little bit of time, whatever. So that is just what I'm saying. These methods do come online very quickly. Plus, then also the other one is just trading. Trading comes online super quickly. You get the requirements set up. You're ready to trade, and that comes online. That takes with my fastest method, it's 6.96 minutes per account if you do it in my batch processing method. But if you do like 1 or 2 accounts and you're first starting, it should only take you about 30 minutes if you follow my guide in the Discord link down below. If you come into the Discord, there's guides on how to build free-to-play alts very efficiently, and a lot of the community has come together to talk about it and to get it optimized. I also made a few videos in the Discord too, so you can follow the link down below to the Discord, and then hop right into those videos if you just need some help getting those accounts online very efficiently. So it's not that much, you know what I mean? Like, you want a free-to-play trader alt, you got an extra 5 mil because you're kind of more of a poor player. You got an extra 5 mil laying around. Build a free-to-play alt, give it to the account, start trying to buy grapes, trying to buy fire runes, trying to buy pure essence, trying to buy feathers, trying to buy all those free-to-play items that you can passively make a little bit of money over time. Plus, then also you can have it like tan cow hides, or make pie shells, or high alchemy, or those types of money makers that you can do, and not really be super concerned about the efficiency of it, but just have that there as well for you to squeeze a little bit more money with your time while you're playing, while you're getting that boost and stuff like that. So the cons, though, pretty obvious. The number one is that you have limited money making methods. You know what I mean? From that list, that was pretty much it. There's not a lot. There's no recurring methods really. Just checking. Yeah, so there's really no recurring methods. Most of them kind of suck. Down here, whatever. Really low. Not a lot of variety here. You're going to be doing a lot of the same thing, so it's super grindy. This one I'm kind of interested in. Sounds really fun. Plus, another one I was actually told about in a video on a comment that I can go to the bandage camp and then sell items there for high elk profit. I'm going to test that as well. But another con is that they have less GE slots than membership slots and less items to choose from. And then the last and biggest con is the big RuneScape problem right now, which is Jagex's automated ban system, which is banning accounts. And it's not necessarily that they're false banning accounts, but when you appeal, you get you get an automated response because they don't seem to care about free-to-play accounts, which, you know, not trying to talk shit about Jagex, but it makes sense for them not to give a shit about free-to-play accounts because in their eyes, they're not paying customers and they are a business and stuff like that, but that is a major con to it. So there is some risk associated with building a free-to-play account. Though if you get a free-to-play account going and play on it, quite often if you do like 1 to 3 accounts and you play on it, you get it to the point where it's actually like producing cash, like through trading or through high alchemy and stuff like that, they tend to survive. But it's when you are building the account is when they're at risk. So yes, so just keep all that in mind. So which one is superior? I would say neither. Each has their role and it depends on where you are as a player. Okay. I recommend you reflect on where you are as a player and what your goals are in playing RuneScape. What is your bank? A good way to determine what kind of approach that is right for you is what is your highest access of money per hour you are capable of? And then how does that task you're doing to make money allow for other things to fit? Okay. Are you skilling? Are you working on quests? Are you trying to just max your account? Then you have more room for different alt strategies, because if like you're getting your cooking to 99, there's a lot of downtime in that while you're waiting for each inventory to cook, for example. And then another thing, if you're like doing quests and stuff, you're gonna have a lot of time. But are you grinding like Nex, my example with Nex or other bosses, then you are a lot more limited in alts, and trading accounts may be worth more of your time. So just keep all that in mind. That's kind of my 2 cents on the alts. Again, this is kind of a review. But I feel like it's super important to be in the Money Talks podcast, just in case you're new. And I probably should have said this a lot earlier, but if you made it this far and you want, I'm asking if you please subscribe if you want more content like this. I'm a guy who wants to help new players make money. Everything I can think of, I'm trying to distill it down and to make it into these episodes for you guys to get educated on how to make money with old school RuneScape. I'm trying to provide support through comments. I always reply to as many comments as I can, which is almost all of them right now. That I don't get that many where I'm always on my phone. So if you join the Discord link down below, I'm always there to chat and chill. But I am aiming for monetization. I would really appreciate if you could help a brother out and subscribe, like, comment. I really appreciate all the support I've been getting from everybody. I'm coming in on 300 subscribers, and that's really awesome. Never knew I'd be coming this far. And I'm going to have Road to 1 Trillion episode tomorrow, and I got a couple other content ideas to sprinkle in throughout the week that I hope you guys like and enjoy. So with all that being said, thank you very much, and I'll talk to you guys later. I wrote a script and I actually got the time down to less than 20 minutes, so I hope this one does pretty good. So thank you again, everybody, and I'll see you later in the next episode of Money Talks.